All right, guys. I have a really special episode for you where we have my friend Zach. How do I say your full name correctly?
It's Zakaria.
Zakaria. Okay, I've been saying Zacharia
Yeah.
with an American accent.
Yeah.
Zakaria.
Yes.
And we met on the beach. You've seen probably one of my oldest videos that I've released, and that really struck me. And I was like, dude, I gotta meet this guy. And then, bro, we've had some collabs already, so they already know who you are.
Yeah.
Psychologist, overall awesome dude. We have a lot of stories to share, and yeah, man, welcome to the pod.
Yeah, guys. I started watching Nico like a year ago, and I don't know. I just love your videos. You had like 8K subscribers back then, and I just loved the raw and authenticity. You just walked up to people. I was like, listen. Back then I was in a long-term relationship, like 8 years, and I felt like I let all my social skills go. I let my friends go, and I was like, I need to be more social. But building friends in your mid-20s is hard. Like you don't have like those common third areas anymore, like school or maybe work, but I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself, so that's not it. So just walking up to people, that just opened a huge door for me. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be like Nico. Yeah, guys, right now in Bali, I arrived like 5 days ago, and then I was like, listen, I'm here. Do you want to hang out? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. By 5 days later, I had a small accident.
I think I should have addressed that first. By the way, my man fell off the scooter the other day. If you're coming to Bali and I fall off the scooter, it's almost like a Bali rite of passage. But that being said, you came out lucky. Yes. Maybe a broken hand, maybe, or like a broken toe or whatever. That's it. He didn't injure your head. You didn't injure anything else.
And I wasn't wearing a helmet. So
yeah,
man, it's super scary. I'm never not wearing a helmet ever again. So
say that one more time.
I'm never wearing a helmet ever again.
Yeah.
I'm never not wearing a helmet ever again because I wasn't wearing one. And when I fell, it was like I fell forward, luckily, and I hit my hand first, then my elbow, then my back, and I still hit my head on the concrete. And I was like, whoa, that could have been it. Like going 80 kilometers an hour and just slamming your head on concrete. Yes, man.
Was that bad?
Yes, bro.
No.
Bro, if I show you the bike, it's completely totaled.
No.
It's like in a turn.
On your side, bro.
Yes, bro. Tamal was going like 80. I'm like, I'm gonna follow him, and it was like this turn, and I don't know. I just miscalculated him. And I was like, no, there's no way to turn anymore. I'm gonna fall. And
damn, dude, you're fucking, bro.
Super lucky, bro.
Yeah, man, you're fucking lucky. I'm so happy you're okay. Seriously, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's the only thing about Bali. Like, I call them bules because that means foreigner in Indonesian. I'm a local now because I've been here for long enough to know how to ride. But the bules don't know how to ride, and you see it all the time. When people see your bandage, they immediately know, don't they? Like, you fell off the scooter, didn't you? They call it the Bali. They even have a word for it, the Bali burn. Yeah, they call it the Bali burn. Okay. But it's messed up because a lot of people have died from it, like really sad accidents. So if you're coming to Bali,
be careful.
Be fucking careful. Just realize you don't know the roads yet. It's like there's an art and skill to riding that you haven't figured out yet. Yeah. I need to start wearing my helmet too. I don't wear a helmet a lot, so. Yeah, but that being said, that's why he's in bandages. But his brain's perfectly fine, and it's not going to affect the quality of the podcast. So shout out to you for making it, sir. You're a soldier. You're a real soldier. You showed up anyways. So almost came to the workout, too, which is crazy. Yeah, man. Okay, we'll dive straight into it. So I feel like you've changed my game or my mindset, really, in 1 week. Like, after our talks together, I really started, and this is surprising, dude. I don't meet many people that change the way I think very often. It's very rare. It happens once, maybe twice per year. And after talking with you, I started to realize that the pickup space, and myself included, sometimes we can view women as just objects, a means to an end, and as a number and a notch on our belt. And I've never had I'm not like a toxic guy. Like I've never been super toxic towards women. I think a lot of people can see that through my videos, but it's made me realize that my ego and my need for results can sometimes outweigh what's good for the girl and what's good for myself. So very often I was coming at game as how many pulls can I get? I even had a goal before I met you. I actually got rid of this goal. I was trying to get to a certain amount of pulls this year. Just like in my head, it just made sense logically. Okay, well, I want to be good at what I do. So, quantity of girls I can pull. And then every single time I meet a guy who's toxic, not you didn't ask me this. Every time I meet a guy who's toxic, what's your success ratio? How many girls did you pull? As if that's the measurement for success. And then it's kind of like, since I'm in the space, it's slowly brainwashed me into buying into that. I remember over the summer, I really bought into that. Like, okay, I'm going to pull 1,000 girls. Like crazy thoughts because I really wanted to become good at what I do. I want to be a good teacher. But then after meeting you and after a lot of other experiences, I realized this is BS. This is not healthy. It's forcing me to go after girls I don't even like that much. And it's sometimes putting girls in a position where they don't feel like loved, supported. They don't feel good about the interaction. And that is fucked up. And it's more important to leave girls on a good note. Yes. And I know you have a lot you want to say. We're working with one mic today. But sorry, this is such a makeshift podcast. Here we go.
Yeah, we're doing it. No, I think it's because we lived so different lives for the past 10 years. Like for the past 10 years, guys, I've been in a relationship for 8-9 years. That was my first girl, my only girl. And so it was by choice because I function well in a long-term relationship. But by default, the girls that I had to meet obviously were off limits by choice again. But then I had to get to know them on a deeper level. And then I realized like, whoa, like the female mind and the female energy is completely different from guys. And so back until like 5 years ago, I used to think that men and women couldn't be friends. I was like, no, you just only have bros. But then I started to, get to really connect with women. And I carried that over, even though that I'm single right now, I still really like to get to know women better. And so not only does that leave me with a better feeling of like I provided value to the conversation, I provided value to the connection, but also if you're a bit like me, which I feel you are, you have that empathy in you.
I have a huge amount. I'm a massively empathetic person.
I know, and so you can feel when a girl is disappointed or she's like, I feel used or and that's not a good feeling. That doesn't build your ego, that doesn't build your self-esteem. It's actually the opposite. And so, I mean, I've shared some things with you because you were like, I get all my fulfillment with my bros and my friends, and that's how I get the depth and the connection. But I was like, you should really try connecting with women on a deeper level, rather than only, the goal to bowl. And you were like, maybe I should sometimes take it a little slower and see what other things are there, because I feel like we're just scratching the surface, and there's so much more to a girl, to a woman, besides just the physical aspect. And that's, I think, what you're starting to realize right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And dude, I want to, because I already know my space. I know what a lot of guys are thinking. I want to make this very fucking clear. This guy has game. I wouldn't have this podcast with him if he didn't have game. I promise you. If it's one thing to say it, but it's one thing to have game and actually do it. So you're not coming from a place of scarcity. He's at the club making out with girls that are way hotter. Like, you would just be like, whoa, like, this girl's amazing, beautiful, intimidatingly hot, tall, attractive. And just wanted to throw that out there, give you a little props. Because like, a lot of guys, they need to know that, too. Because they think, oh, well, he's probably just simping. No, he's not simping. He's actually putting the girl's happiness, fulfillment, and his own fulfillment ahead of his own desires. Yeah. So one thing you said stuck out to me. You said I'm not even, no names, obviously, but you said this. You were like, I didn't know if I wanted to go home with her because I don't know if that was right for her. Like, I didn't want to feel into it, and I wasn't sure if that was right for her. Yeah. That hit me hard because I was like, damn, I never thought like, I usually don't think like that, Like, I don't want to sound like a bad guy, but my head is like, let's get home with the girl. And recently, my last 3 experiences, and this is since we've met, I've kind of been going around, but that's okay. That's just what I do. And these are girls that I've known too, so it's not like I've just been out going crazy, which I usually am out going crazy. Anyways, I don't need to explain myself there. The last 3 romantic experiences I've had since I've met you have been so positive. I could show you my texts, like, of them texting me now, like, as they're leaving Bali or even after, like, you made me feel amazing, and like the smile and how they feel afterwards when I take them home. They even, like, one girl, like, last night, she said thank you. Like, I don't even know, I was like, what's she thanking me for? Just, I guess, thank you for the good experience, thank you for the positive emotions, thank you for the care, because they can feel that you're a guy who's not rushing for sex, is looking to make sure they're comfortable. And the number one thing I've done recently in my last romantic adventure was I didn't even try to have sex before I made sure we were on the same page about what we wanted. Yeah. And I made her realize that I'm not the guy who's committing right now. I'm not in that phase of my life. That I'm going to take care of her and I respect her. I'm going to make her feel amazing. And that there's zero pressure to do anything sexual. And we're going to have a great time either way. Yeah. And she made the move on me in the end. And she what's funny? She even told me, like, she wanted something deeper. She is looking for a man. I'm like, I respect that. You deserve a man. Mm-hmm. And then we were hanging out, and then She made the move on me. And then at the end of our trip, she said, I like you because you're clear about what you want. So we know, like, yeah, you're a little bit of a player, but you're a trustworthy player is what she told me. I was like, I like that. You know, I like that. So and then my mind has been opening because I'm like, there's a way to go about what I'm doing in a wholesome way. And I feel the way I'm talking to women is different. The way I see them is different. And then let's touch on the female friends part.
Yes.
Because I never thought that was possible, and I still have a little bit of conflicting thoughts about it.
Yeah.
But that being said, on a purely logical,
Yes.
making friends with girls is like a superpower.
Yeah.
There is nothing better than having 10 girls you could call right now and say, hey, do you want to come out?
Bro, you have a therapist. Yeah. You have a wingman.
Yeah.
You have a supportive, like they support you so much. They ask you the right questions. They they get you to reflect on life. Female friendships are the best. Yeah. And the male friendships that I do have that I really like value are because they have like those female dynamics, like the depth and the connection. And before I want to jump into the female male friendships, I just want to jump back on the point that you made with the girl. By doing what you did on that trip with the girl, you're also savoring every moment and you're enjoying every moment because you're not going for that fast, final destination part. You're enjoying every kiss, you're enjoying every little hug, and so that leads. If it does lead to the end result, that's great. But if it doesn't, you're still enjoying your life way more. I try to compare it to cooking. When you're cooking, it's scientifically proven that your brain releases dopamine as you're anticipating food and you're smelling the food and you're looking at the food. I think it rises like 200%, and then you get the food, you eat it, and it's like a nice cherry on top. But like going for the pool is basically walking by McDonald's or like getting in drive-thru, stuffing your face full, and getting that rush of dopamine, and I'm feeling so bad afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Another thing, the reason why I'm even having this talk. This is a bit of an advanced talk, by the way.
Yeah.
Because if you're a newbie and you've never been with a girl and you don't know how to escalate and you're afraid to flirt, hey, mofo, go for it. Like,
Yes.
you need more experience.
Yeah.
You're afraid to flirt, you got to get more experience.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've had that experience a lot
Yes.
recently. And it's not intentional. I have no bad intentions, but, like, I'll pull a girl, 30 minutes later she's out the house, and I feel like shit.
Yeah.
I feel very, very, like, it's just these rush of emotions up. And that makes sense because you get that, like you said, like with the fast food, how you feel like shit afterwards. It's such a high of dopamine that it drops so low that you're just like,
Below baseline.
you cope. You like after some pools, I'm just going to watch TV. Like my brain is just fried. Let me watch TV.
Because you don't get the oxytocin. So again, we're getting a little bit advanced, but the dopamine you get from sex, which is, it compares to cocaine, which is crazy amounts, but also the oxytocin and the connection with people, which you get through asking the right questions and connecting with someone or just cuddling with somebody. That's what really fulfills somebody. If you look at lions that live in like prides and are super social, we're like the closest to animals like lions.
Really? We're closest to.
Well, no, like they compare to us. Yeah. They're super social and they cuddle all the time. They hug all the time and they get that oxytocin release. They don't get to have sex all the time. It's more like about also connection with people. And so the female friendship, male friendship dynamic is amazing because here's the thing. People who say you can't be friends with a girl, I get that because when you see a girl and you're attracted, you're like, this attraction will last forever. How can I be friends with somebody that I'm literally looking at? I'm thinking, how beautiful is she? But the thing is, you guys have never had that friendship for long enough to the point that the attraction does go away. So again, they did an amazing study. It's called the, I forgot the name. But basically, here in Indonesia, it's very common in like Islamic households for when a girl grows up, she's like 3 years old, and another household has like a boy of 3 years old. They give the girl to the boy, and they give the girl to the parents' house. And they like let them grow up and let them already arrange the marriage for later. That way they grow up, they know each other. And so what happens is they get so used to each other. There's no attraction, and it's like they're siblings.
Wow.
So the opposite also happens when you're like in Iceland and there's like 300K people living. A lot of siblings do end up dating each other without even knowing. So it's not the fact that you're blood related what makes you attractive to somebody, because you can be blood related to your cousin and still be attracted to them if you don't know they're your cousin. But it's the opposite. It's when you spend so much time with somebody, the attraction just fades. You see every aspect of that person. You vent to them about your problems, vice versa. The mystery just disappears, and after a while you'll see that you start to look at them as your sister. Even the same physical body, but it's just not attractive anymore. And then you're just left with all the benefits, like no attraction, no desire, but you can call them whenever. They can wingman you forever. They give really good advice on women. I know there's a thing of like, don't ask a fish how to fish. But I don't know if that's true. They can like sometimes I get deep with a girl. I'm like, so that girl, that guy you're dating, why don't you like him? And he's like, yo, he's just too, I wouldn't say submissive, but he just never disagrees with me. And I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. So like, does that make you lose respect for him? She's like, yeah, a little bit. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So I could never.
Wait. Repeat that one more time.
So I was talking to a friend of mine, a girl, and she was dating this guy. And she's like, everything's perfect. I don't know why I'm not attracted to him. And I'm like, why do you think that is? Go a bit deeper. And she was like, I don't know. He agrees with me too much. And I'm like, well, yeah, what's wrong with that? Like, that's the perfect life. And she said, I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I'm like, do you kind of lose respect for him that way? And she's like, maybe. It's so hard to say, but maybe. And you get those insights and you learn how the female brain works, and way more than a guy who studied the female brain, because you're literally talking to somebody that explains their experiences, that explains their red flags, turn on, turn offs.
Yeah.
If you're looking to date.
Man, I have all great points, and I love that study you shared. That's really interesting. But okay, so I had a deep talk with a friend.
Yeah.
And you're right. Okay, first I want to touch on what you just said. Mm-hmm. You don't learn from a girl logically. You learn from a girl emotionally. Like you dive into her brain and you ask her questions, and you just learn by being around a girl because you see what she responds to and you see what is going on in her life. So you have to be very, I guess you can say, intuitive. You know what I think a girl does? I think a girl helps you better with your intuition, you know? Because I was just hanging out with a girl, and I feel like I was making so many hard decisions in my life. Like I decided not to go to Rio. I decided to let go of someone I just hired, or downgrade him to a different position. And just all these hard decisions you have to make. I think girls sharpen your intuition on making decisions. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying it. But I had a deep talk with a friend recently, and he said that let's change what we define as friendship. Yeah. Because friendship with a guy and friendship with a girl, we were talking about how they're a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Like with a guy, it's all about pushing each other to be better. Yes. Loyalty, brotherhood, striving for greatness. At least that's for me. That's what I have with my guy friends. Ride or die. When you have your guy friends, it's ride or die. That's more of the feeling when you're with your guy friends. Because you're both in the same experience of the world, where it's a bit brutal, it's a bit chaotic, and it can be a bit hard. With a girl, it can be a little bit more, it seems to me, like a value exchange, where what do you get out of hanging out with each other? Mm-hmm. It seems. Yeah. And I think what a girl provides a lot of the time is just a female energy, like learning how to read emotions better. As far as like the physical benefits, it's like, or like when she's around you at the party, you get massive social proof. Mm-hmm. I find though personally that the girl has to have sometimes a little bit of sexual attraction for you, and it's still there. It's like there's this underlying sexual attraction where she still likes you, and then let's say you invite a female friend to a party, and she likes you and she respects you. Other girls around you are gonna want you more. So like, you know, that's just social proof. Everyone knows that. Yeah. But I almost feel like there is a little bit of a different dynamic between friends with your girls and friends with your bros. Yeah. It's just different. Like the problem with guys, I think the mistake we make is we expect our female friends to be the same as a guy friend. It's not the same. It's a different kind of friendship. Perfect. It's a different kind of friendship.
You're expecting that, of course, you're disappointed. Of course.
Yeah.
Like, why would I even be friends with a girl? She doesn't push me. No,
yeah.
No.
Exactly.
That's not what you should be looking for. No.
Yeah, man.
No, and also, by the way, even if you're not as attracted to her as you were in the beginning, there's still that physical aspect. When you're hugging a girl goodbye, when she's comforting you, when she's listening to you, and she's like, "Oh, you're so, like up, I understand you" and stuff, it feels just better to me as a straight man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean I'm super attracted to her at that point sexually. But just like, for example, I'll give you an example. I'm a psychologist, right? I have female colleagues of mine who are just psychologists, female psychologists, and like all the tough dudes end up going to them. You would think they would go to me. You would think they would go to a bro and for me to coach them and give them therapy. But it's the opposite. They feel more vulnerable, more connected to women because that's basically their primary caregiver, which was their mom. Their mom was the one that consoled them, that gave them that first love on a platonic, non-sexual level. So why would you cut that out for the rest of your life and just be like, no, I'm just going to get the hard, tough love now? Or a long-term relationship, nothing in between. I mean, of course, then you have those guys that are still so hooked to their mom, and they're like, my mom is my everything, and I tell her everything, and I call her.
It's a little bit too much then.
It's too much, yeah, because you don't have any other buckets to fill. I love my mom. Of course, I call her to give her some updates, but I have tons of female friends that I call to talk about a girl that I'm dating, to give their advice, to get their advice, and you have a ton of buckets to fill. Yeah, it just fulfills you way more.
Interesting. So like, girl kind of softens you in a way.
Yes.
So you don't want only female friend. Like you need bros.
Yeah.
But you also, it's very helpful to have some girls around you.
Yeah.
Like very helpful.
Yeah.
And it's healthy too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just.
Sorry.
I feel like for short-term success, living together with guys, just like Andrew Tate does, perfect. You'll reach your goals within 1 or 2 years. But life is long, and you'll be around for like another 60, 70 years. And with anybody that you see, any professional like retired actor or musician, or anybody in Italy on a yacht, they're always surrounded with girls. And it might seem like they're all damn Bilzerian trying to fuck them all, but I don't think so. I think some girls that are in the group, they're just like really good friends with them. And they get a lot from them. And it's not like they're not optimized for, short-term success anymore, which then you need that adrenaline, that cortisol, tough love. No, you need to do better. You need to do better. But that's not what happiness is. And I'm trying to also optimize for happiness as well, besides the goal. You can reach whatever you want. Like if your goal is to date, if your goal is to have a long-term relationship, if your goal is to become a millionaire, you can reach whatever you want as long as it's one thing at a time. But then what then? Again, this is an advanced conversation because we're already thinking about future connections. The longest study ever done by Harvard was an 80-year-long study, which they followed people 80 years long. Wow. And they saw that the number one factor that correlates with happiness was human connection. And so you're basically you're closing yourself off for 50% of that connection by not talking to females in that way. And you're decreasing your chances to date, to get introduced to their friends, just a lot of stuff. I mean, I would recommend it so much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, just as an add-on.
Yeah, and dude, I love that about the study. It's true. Human connection is everything. And yeah, man, if you haven't girls know how to have fun too. Yeah. Like I just went on a romantic getaway and yeah, it's just fun. Like they know how to, they make you have fun. Like literally I'm just in the pool swimming around, goofing around, we're pushing each other in, we're in the waterfall, we're trying to, it's just a different feeling. Like I don't know how to explain it, but.
Just a happy kid again.
Yeah,
they also
exactly,
feel like a happy girl again, but you're also like yourself again. There isn't this cloud hanging above you. Yeah, you're just a happy kid again. When you're around a girl and girls really just want to have fun, it doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. A girl can go out with a millionaire. If it's boring, she'll never go out again.
Bro, yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
And you can be broke, and if she wants you, like you carry her on your back and you play fight with her and stuff, she'll stick with you forever. And the thing is, when I first realized this, I was 16, by the way, and I had this best friend in high school, and he used to have a ton of female friends, like girlfriends back, and like 16-year-old girls. And I was like, bro, like introduce me to her and her and her, and he was like, no, these are just friends. Like let's all hang out together. Then we went to do ice skating. And in the beginning, I was trying to impress the girl and stuff. But after a while, I just realized how innocent the vibe was and how much more fun I became. And if there is a girl that I'm trying to impress, I'm already in that funny, happy kiddo phase, which, by the way, I think is the most attractive thing to a girl. Just keeping that youthful, playful side to you as you grow up, as more responsibilities come to you by life, and you still have that youthful, joyful, I'm going to bring you happiness type to you, which I think comes mostly from hanging out with those types of girls, is super attractive. And become that, no, I'm just going to focus on my goals and winter arc and nobody cares, bro. Like nobody cares. Nobody want to sit with you in a bunker and we're...
Bro, I see this all the time. And I have a lot of entrepreneur friends. I spent a lot of money in joining networking events and hanging around these guys. Every single guy, because I'm in the space I'm in, they'll come to me eventually and be like, bro, I got to get out. I've just been locked in for months. And bro, I've just lost my game. And they, when you lock in on business and you become very rigid and disciplined, which is important, you lose your game. Game is just like you said, having fun. And the best guys I know with women are the ones who have that childlike energy, who are able to just goof around, laugh, dance, have a great time. You got to meet. When I say that, I think of Melvin, my wingman. Amazing. He's really good at that. And when you go to the club with him, you're having such a blast, and you're making friends with everyone.
Yeah. I remember, guys, also another study, but it's scientifically proven that humor is directly correlated to sexuality with women.
Really?
So I read the study, and then I it came up to me. I was like, yeah, when I had a girlfriend, I used to goof around in the bedroom. I used to dance, and I used to be like topless and trying to be like a stripper or something just to make her laugh. She would be dying laughing, and then she would like pull me in to give me a kiss. And I'm like, wait, we're just goofing around. Why are you like trying to do something right now?
Wow.
It was so weird. Now I understand. Like giving her that happy feelings, just like I tolerate these feelings with him, and I want to be with him more.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, locking yourself, yeah.
Guys always obsess over looks and money. Guys obsess over looks and money, but they always forget that one part: good emotions. You made her feel good, and she pulled you in for a kiss.
Yes.
The
Pill? Yeah.
the black pills, bro. It's insane. It's actually sad to see.
You're literally the best example. You walk around the beach.
Yeah.
Like we're in just casual clothes, tank top. Maybe you don't even go to the barber every week. You're just, but those things get forgotten the second you talk to somebody, and it's all about energy. And you see girls so often walking on the street with like a fairly like bigger dude, which is like who is bald and stuff, and you're like, how did he pull her? It must be money, right? But I can tell you, it's not. It's not. If it's only money, and he's like a piece of shit asshole, boring, she'll either cheat or she'll leave.
It's exactly. It's good emotions, social calibration, non-neediness, and yeah, just being able to vibe really well. And
Give a good time.
yeah, man, yeah.
But the thing about the lockdown, people will be like, I need to lock in, and then I lose my game. When I had periods of locking in, I even lost my game during meetings. When I had sales calls with companies, I was like, I'm not so charismatic. Now, this week, bro, I've been so social. When I take meetings, people can read the energy from they're already starting to smile as the second up I enter the meeting. The thing is, it's not a sacrifice you have to make. You'll get more money, you'll get more successful the more you socialize, the less, driven you are towards one goal. Just go out with like zero expectations and see where the night takes you. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of guys, they mess up. They lock in and they only they grind really hard and then they burn out. Yeah. They burn out and they feel like shit and they forget that they're human and they have like needs and priorities. I think it's more about just showing up all the time and being consistent, because if you consistently show up for a year and you're just taking care of your emotions, you're hanging out with people, you're working out, you're taking care of yourself, and you're grinding and locking in and waking up, you're going to have periods where you don't feel like it and you have to fucking do it. Yeah. And then you're going to have periods where you don't feel like it, and it's probably better you just take a damn break, go hang out with some friends, talk to some girls, and relax for a little bit. I learned that recently. I was having anxiety attacks last month because I was grinding so hard. All I did was work. And I would even be pulling. My game was the worst that it has ever been too last month when I was grinding. But on the off chance I pull, the girl would be like, what do you do for fun? I'm like, fuck, I don't have fun. All I do is work. And recently, I just took a little vacation. Dude, I feel so refreshed. My anxiety is gone. It's pretty much almost gone. I'm walking around the world with more ease. I have collaborations, and whenever I show up, I don't feel as nervous. I feel good. And yeah, man, it's much more powerful when you take care of yourself. There is a healthy balance to it.
It is. And there's only one thing that's more attractive than being ambitious and having goals. It's having those goals, being ambitious, and still having the fun personality.
Yeah, bro.
That's
the fucking key, isn't it?
It is. And in the beginning, it might be attractive to, he's an ambitious man. It talks about his goals. But after a while, if you don't have any personality, if you're not trying to have fun, if you're really obvious looking for just one thing.
I used to think girls found that attractive too. And I want you to finish your thought. I used to think girls found... I remember I've always been disciplined my whole life. And I would always tell a girl, like, yeah, I woke up early today and I'm working. I thought they actually found that attractive. They don't give a fuck. They actually find that unattractive. You ask girls, like, who would you rather date? The guy who wakes up at 5 a.m. and works really hard, or the surfer? And the most girls would say, like, I want the fucking surfer,
Yes.
So
100%.
Yeah,
Of course,
man.
there's like a safety mechanism of girls, like being able to be taken care of, and she's like, I'm gonna have a nice life with this person, and he has resources and stuff. But I'm sorry. What is it?
Bro, it's soap. I taste the soap. I didn't wash it all the way. Yeah. So I was like,
Saw your
why
face.
do I taste soap? And I smelled it. I was like, yeah, it's soap.
Oh no.
That is what it
Of
is.
course, there's a safety aspect of them wanting that guarantee of a good life, but the happiness part and I'm gonna have fun with that person, they know they're gonna die, and so they just want to optimize for their happiness, and they live way more in the moment than us.
Yeah.
So you can be like, a guy can be like, I'll just relax in 10 years when I achieved all my goals. That doesn't work on a girl, man. That doesn't work.
And there's another thing. and Owen said this, your brain builds neurological pathways to I will be happy when. So you're actually denying the present moment by grinding. And I'm not saying don't grind. I'm a fucking worker. Listen, this is coming from someone who's naturally like that. But you're denying the present moment and you're training yourself to say, I will be happy when. 10 years later, when you have all the money, you will still have those same neurological pathways. So you got to train both. You can't just lock in at an early age. Ty Lopez talks about this a lot too. He says, you got to, like, learning to socialize and learning to build relationships with men and women is a skill that you need to start now. You don't wait to do that later. You're going to need that in the long run. And yeah,
that's a great one.
the last thing I want to mention is girls actually have I've talked to so many girls, like I know this for a fact now. Yeah. They have a huge dilemma where they love the guy who's fun, and guys just too often optimize for one of the other. They either fully optimize, and this used to be me, I complete degenerate, fully optimize for fun, but they have nothing going for them. They lack discipline, and yeah, they're just lacking the fucking discipline. Like, but they've optimized for fun, and girls will fuck that guy for one night, and they'll have fun with him. And then you have the other end of the spectrum where they optimize for money, discipline, and they've just no fun at all. Girls don't, honestly, if I had to choose, I'd just be the fun guy. Like, because you're still going to win in the end of the day there. But you want to have both. Because you want to have money and a cool lifestyle and, like, discipline for yourself, to respect yourself, and other men will respect you as well. But you got to learn how to let loose, have fun, approach, and, yeah, just be more emotionally balanced for the girl.
Like I see these reels all the time. When you come across the perfect girl, but you don't have 5K in the bank, or you don't make 5K a week, you're not shredded yet, and so you just let it pass by. And I'm like, that's so sad.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that reel.
Yeah, and I see it so much. Like when you come across the perfect girl, but you're not at the place in your life where you want to be at, so you just keep it moving or something like that. And I'm like, that's so sad, because it's the fallacy effect, like you said. That'll keep you going through those neurochemical pathways. I was always like, the day I graduate, I'll feel this weight off my shoulder and I'll be happy. I was on my graduation thinking about, that company I need to start, that thing I need to do, and I was already like not even enjoying the moment. Yeah. And now I'm trying to be a little bit more present, because that's all we have. I could have died yesterday, And that balance of optimizing for now and optimizing for the future, that's where the fun part comes in. Because right now I am working, and sometimes I don't feel like going out, but I still do, because I still know I'll feel way better afterwards.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you're working, you're mostly optimizing, investing in the future, optimizing for the future. But then when you go out, it's just there. You're just having fun there. There's no goals to gain, not necessarily. And having that back and forth is what will make somebody really like love themselves and other people love them.
Yeah, and you have to break the routine as well. Yeah. Like recently, I went on a little trip. And when you're stuck in the same routine, doing the same things, you're in the same pattern of thinking. So it's hard for you to generate new ideas and make decisions. Yeah. Breaking the routine, you get all these new stimuluses, and you can really make better decisions. And man, I will say, even personally, like I went on this vacation. The first day I was like tense, kind of had to stick up my ass. I'm stressed from work. The second day I was a little bit better. By the third day, after like the waterfall, being out in the sun all day, I was just laughing, smiling, making jokes, having fun. And even the girl I was with was like, oh my God, you're so like, from compared to the first day to now, you're like, you've completely just shifted your aura and how you are.
Yeah, I was on a date yesterday, and like after 2 hours, she told me, what's your biggest red flag? And I was like, I'm a bit impatient. And she's like, yeah, I noticed. I'm like, how? She's like, yeah, when you arrived, it took like 10 minutes, and you were like, okay, let's get food, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm like, damn, because I was still in that grind modus. Yeah. I was still in that, we gotta go, And even I tried to switch off and switch, gears. But even then, on the date, I was still going like 200 miles an hour, and she felt that. Wow. And that's not nice. She just want to have fun in the moment, be present, and I wasn't providing that in the morning. Yes. So it's true.
Wow, it's amazing. Bro, you brought so many amazing points already. Like I didn't even know about, like, all these studies you bring out too. That's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so I want to talk about the journey that a man might go through when he's learning how to get better with women. And specifically, a lot of girls, almost every girl I'll talk to, the reason why they get turned off isn't because you're ugly. It's not because of the way you look. It's because a lot of guys try to flirt and get the girl and want the girl in bed way too fast. Like, you really got to learn to turn that part of your brain off, and learning how to just befriend a girl is very, very powerful. So when you're starting off a cold approach journey, very often it starts with indirect, just learning how to be friends with everyone and becoming social. And then you get stuck in this phase where every conversation is platonic, you can't flirt or escalate, and maybe you even go on a date with a girl, and a guy like me comes around and steals her. Sorry. That's when, I'm saying this from experience because it happened to me, and it happens to a lot of my clients, and that's when they sign up, and they're like, I need to learn how to flirt. So then you start going direct. Then you start getting rejected a lot. You blow everything out, but you're learning how to flirt, and then eventually, inevitably, you get better, and you find a girl who likes you. You get success, and you feel entitled to that success, and it starts to change your brain on who you think you are. And then there comes a point where that actually gets in the way of your success, because now you're burning a bunch of bridges. You're trying to get every girl in a sexual way, and it's just not as fun. You're going about the world, and it all seems like, okay, why am I even doing this? I know I can get girls. What's the point? And then you come into a phase where you go back to being indirect, back to being platonic, you could say, or friendly, and showing girls in your vibe, in the way you present yourself, that, hey, I'm not going to flirt with you if it's not the right moment. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to make you feel uncomfortable. And you have that in your tool belt. Like, you know how to flirt, you know how to escalate, you know how to turn it on. You're not afraid. You feel entitled to it, but you're going to give her the option to, if she wants you, yes. If not, let's just be friends. Like, as soon as a girl finds out that you're cool enough to just vibe with her and you don't need anything sexual, and it's just like you're just walking up to her, not for your success ratio, but to just give good energy. Like, I had a recent video on my Instagram. Yeah. 2 girls were walking by, and I said, hey, you look like you're from Texas. And then we were just joking around. She made a funny accent. I was like, oh, that was a really good accent. Awesome. Have a good day. Happy Wednesday. I'll see you guys later. No, didn't try to get their number, didn't try to flirt. She found the video on Instagram and she shared it. And then she even said, it was so lovely meeting you. And all these comments from hot girls are all my fucking comments. I'm like, dude, I now could be friends with any of them, invite them out to things. Yeah. And it's happened more times than once where I'll be friends with a girl, and because she sees I'm cool and she's gotten to know me, eventually she makes a move on me. She gives me an IOI. Yeah. She starts looking at me a little differently. I'm like, wait a minute, is she flirting with me? All right, fuck it. So I know how to escalate and flirt, and I'll just go for it. Yeah. And then all the other things we talked about, which is making your intentions clear, communicating, making sure that she feels good, it's the right decision for both of you guys. You end up having a lot of situations where you're getting all the benefits, but literally almost zero downside. So
I think what you just described is the perfect evolution. But I also think the change from the beginning to the end is your self-identity, the way you see yourself. Because by the end, you know you can get girls, so you don't have to prove it anymore. Yes. I think that's a huge one. And exactly. You have the skills, but you don't need to use them. It's like the quote of Jordan Peterson, it's better to be a farmer it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in war or something like that. You have all the skills and the tool set, but you don't need to use them. You already proved it to yourself. And that's when you get super selective. I feel like, even though I didn't have many short-term relationships in my life, I feel like that's what I'm at emotionally. I feel that way. I feel like it's not hard to get a girl. It's not hard to connect with somebody. So I don't really need to prove it to myself. And that takes away a lot of scarcity mindset, a lot of neediness, which it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like it keeps going into the right direction. And the second thing that I wanted to add on was, so on the dates, the thing is, if you're optimizing for a short-term, fun dates or nights, then I think Nico is the man for you, because he's got game in that sense that he really can escalate, and he's super charismatic and make jokes, and that's what really pulls in the short term attraction phase. I think in my case I go a little bit deeper, and maybe it is because I'm a psychologist, but I think I'm a psychologist because I'm a curious person, not the other way around. And I think that's what really hooks people on. When they go home and they're like, I had such a lovely night, and the day after they still think about you, even without doing anything sexual, that's when you're like, okay, I'm in. Yeah.
I love that, man.
To get to the point to the guy that said, like, I'm going on dates, but nothing happens afterwards.
Yeah. And that's been the biggest shift in my own psychology recently, which is, stop prioritizing sex and the short-term fun and build actual relationships with these girls. Because, like, in the long run, I do want to get into a long-term relationship. Obviously, I want to have kids. I want all of that. And I think that's a huge priority. And making sure the short-term fun isn't to the detriment, like we said, like eating the junk food and getting these spikes and downwards. Like, that can be very toxic in of itself. This is a problem that it is advanced because, like, if you don't have game, you're not going to get there. I actually have a question for you. I'm curious. And okay, I want to finish my thought loop on the last one. And that's why I like hanging out with you, because for too long, I've been hanging around great people who are into pickup, and we're all optimizing for the short term. I love meeting somebody on the other end who's going out, has game, but optimizing for long term. Because that's actually probably what I need the most, personally, in my own personal life.
You're already good at the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I've optimized for that enough. Now I need to learn how to build actual relationships and going on romantic adventures where we're still friends after, and like there's actually potential for long-term relationships with them. Like learning how to build these real connections. It's so much more fulfilling. And anyways, now, how do you have game? Because listen, I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I didn't see you have game. Because you told me you only been with one girl, and most guys who've only been with one girl, they don't know how to, like, when I saw you at the club. I wish I got more videos of this. I just remember, I introduced you to all my female friends, and you are making them laugh. They are 100% giving you the anime eyes of like, who is this guy? You're holding court. You're talking to everyone. I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy? That's why I love the game. That's why I love like bringing guys out, because you learn a lot about a person. You see how they interact. You're like, oh, look at this guy. He's smooth, And where did you get that, do you think? Your ability to attract women?
I think there's a couple of factors. I think, first of all, one thing that I sometimes do when I find a girl too attractive, that I start to feel myself getting intimidated, I just try to downgrade them a little bit in my head. I'm like, maybe she has chlamydia. Maybe there's something really wrong with her. Or in my case, as a psychologist, I'm like, maybe she has like borderline, personality disorder and she's crazy. And that just puts her down from the pedestal. Yeah. And I try to look at her and talk to her in a normal way. I think most guys have game if they didn't see the girl at first. But they get so overwhelmed and they're like, I don't even deserve to be here. So let me think of the funniest joke to make. Let me think about the best thing to say. Let me brag about myself and all those things.
Even looks maxing can be cope.
Yes.
Look perfect for her.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the other thing is, even though I've had one relationship, it's actually been very beneficial in the way that when you're in a long-term relationship, it's like the number one way to get social proof. It's to yourself and to other people. You can pull in a huge way. You're getting this validation from a person that knows you, loves you, knows your personality, loves the way you hang out with people. And when you go out, even though you're not trying to pull, you can, I don't know, maybe it's not scientifically proven, but people always say that when I'm in a relationship, I get way more girls, but I'm not allowed to date. When I'm single, it's like nobody looks at me, but it's the energy you're giving away. It's basically you saying, I'm not worthy to get any girls. But when you're in a relationship, I'm like, yeah, I'm worthy. And then people get attracted to that energy. So I think I'm still carrying a little bit of that in me. And just for the past few years, I've been humanizing people so much.
Your job, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great question. That's a great point. When somebody walks in, let's say she's an attractive woman, after 4 minutes, I'm like, man, you have some stuff going on. I would never date you, Yeah. So try to come up with those things. People give you the best version, but it's not necessarily true. And then being curious is, I think, one of the best things you can have. Being more interested than interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's
that is your superpower, by the way.
I think so.
Bro, yeah, like, because you take it for granted when you hang around you. Yeah. When I hang around you, I take it for granted. But like, not everyone has that ability to genuinely listen and be curious. Yeah. Because that is such a superpower. If you can like listen to someone and be curious about their life. Yeah. I was hanging out with a girl, this week, and I was like, dang, I need some more of that energy where when she's talking about herself, like I'm genuinely tuned in. I'm not thinking about 5 different things at once. I'm just listening. And yeah, that is definitely a superpower.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to learn it, guys. It's just called active listening. It's a skill. Yeah. I'm not born this way. I'm not special. But I remember, for example, in school when I studied psychology, we used to have these simulation, therapy calls or like sessions. And for example, one day, one guy role played as a customer service. I was the customer service, and he was an angry client. And he was like, "Yeah, my Wi-Fi doesn't work," and I needed to hold on that conversation for long enough and almost never come with a solution. So I needed to keep asking him questions. I'm like, okay, but what do you mean by it's not working? Yeah, it's so shitty. I don't even get to do my meetings. Okay, and how long has it been this way? Yeah, it's been this way since yesterday. And have you tried doing this and this? And so you keep asking questions instead of being like, okay, I'll send somebody over there, and then the conversation dies. And we take that to a normal conversation. Somebody tells you like, yeah, I used to be into horseback riding. You're like, wow, that's so cool. By the way, be intrigued. You don't have to fake it. Just find things interesting. Like, be intrigued. Be like, wow, that's so cool. I've always wanted to try that. isn't that like hard? Like I feel like you have to have like a really good back. Isn't that like very stiff? She's like, no, it's okay. It's actually, you get used to it. I'm like, okay, cool. And why were you so drawn to horseback riding? Oh yeah, I liked it because of this and this. Asking questions like, what do you do? And like, how many siblings do you have are so boring. They don't trigger people in the same kind of way. But just how you're play fighting with a girl and you stimulate her in those type of ways and she gets those, positive emotions, asking her the right questions that bring her memory back to fun times or to good company, she starts to associate those feelings with you. And every time she sees you, she might not even know what it is, but she's like, I want to go talk to this guy, I like him. And if you ask her, why do you like him? She's like, oh, he's just fun. No, it's because you're super, like, interesting. And you're interesting because you're interested. And that way, that's why they want to keep hanging out with you.
Yeah, too many people are self-absorbed now, and myself included. It's cope.
I think when guys realize that it's okay to not brag about yourself or try to be the best version of yourself, it's actually hurting you more. I don't think people are narcissistic. I think only like 5 to 10% of men are narcissistic. The other 95% or 90% are just coping. They're just like, that's what I need to do to become interesting. That's not true at all. And I think it's exhausting as well. Like they can, how many times that I've been out with a guy and he's telling a girl about all these achievements, you can see the conversation dying down. It's like,
yeah, man.
What now? Instead of asking questions, getting to know people, and people are like, what do you even do?
And I already see my comments, or I already see like the thoughts of some people. Like they're like, yeah, but whenever I ask questions, they get bored, and I get bored, and the conversation dies out. But I think there's a certain element to it where you actually can't really fake it. Yeah. You actually have to be curious.
Yes.
You actually have to like being around people. And I see it with some guys where they are going out and they're having really bad sessions, like trying to become social, and they're just getting rejected. And I'm like, dude, you don't need good game to have fun out. Like, you should be able to go out and just have fun talking to anybody. Like, talking to the bartender, stop. Like, a big thing guys will do is they'll go out and they'll only talk to the hot girl. Yeah. It's like, dude, talk to everybody. Yeah. Get an instinct where you see a girl, anyone, or you see a girl who's not even that attractive, or to you, grandma, and then you say hi, and you get to know them, and you get that social momentum. Yes. And then you see another person, you say hi. And you're just building that habit of saying hi to people that you come across. And then when you see a girl who's very attractive, you'll have that instinct. You'll have that built up. Oh, intimidatingly hot girl. Yeah. Hey, what's up? How's it going? You still say hi. And
You want to know something? I remember the first time this happened to me. I was in school. I was like 15, and I was sick. So I was in the taking like sick care thing, and a girl walked in with like a runny nose. She had a like a, what's it called?
Fever?
No, just like blood, like in the nose, like.
Oh.
Yeah, a bloody nose. Yeah. And she was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm sick. I have this and this." And she was like, "Oh my God, that sounds horrible." Like, and I left that conversation being like, "I'm in love with this girl." I'd never seen her in my life at that school. But ever since that day, I'm like, whoa, she asked the most boring questions ever. But the way she asked them was so cool. And the way she reacted on my answers made me feel so good. And I started to associate those feelings with her. And so to the guys that say, yeah, but it doesn't work for me, or girls, I get boring questions or something. Listen, if you ask questions and girls get bored, it's either you're not asking the right questions, or your tonality is not there. You're asking her like, oh, like, and how long did you do horseback riding? And you're looking away, and people are like, what the fuck are you, like, what should I tell?
They don't trust you either.
No.
Like, what does he actually want?
Yes. Yeah. And I can tell you, truly, like, because I do meet some girls, it's hard to say, but who are just the problem. They're just a little bit more boring. You can be the hype guy, whatever you want. They're just like a little bit down. But even those girls, after a couple of questions, they start to open up more. And even those girls, they're a little bit more introverted. With the right people, they're super like fun and loud, and they just don't trust you yet.
Yeah.
And so when you walk up to a girl, I think even the most extroverted girl will be like a little bit, having their walls up. But you can break those walls down. You can just be super innocent. I'm not here to do anything besides have a nice conversation and go about my day. And it also helps when you're standing in line and you strike a conversation with a man next to you, or with a grandma, and then you see a hot girl standing behind you, and then you strike a conversation with her, then it definitely just lowers the barrier, because she's like, he's not looking for anything, and her guard is way less up. You can still ask for her number. You'll have more chances instead of just walking up to a girl and being like an idiot.
Yeah.
where you're from.
Yeah, and then needing an outcome
Yes.
for your ego and for your own validation,
Pushing, yeah,
or else your self-worth goes down. I had a recent client who's actually crushing it now, but he sends me his recordings. He's taking it very seriously.
Wow.
He sends me the audio. I listen to it. And the first time, it'd be like, hey, what's up? How's it going? I thought you were cute. Okay, cool. Direct open. That's fine. You know, they say have 10 seconds of conversation. And then he's just like, hey, well, can I get your number? And then it's just like, yeah, sure, you're cool. And then he texts her, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not really looking for anything.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that she wasn't looking for anything. It's that you've built zero comfort, and she doesn't really know you, and she doesn't feel safe. Because it's like, well, who is this guy? I don't know him.
Why did I even give my number?
Why did I give him my number? This is just too, it's just like, she's a human being. You need to realize.
That's something I recommend, any form of sales. If you're a student, do some sort of student job that requires people, just talking to people. I used to do the most hardcore of them all. I used to do door-to-door sales, which what I learned there, to pick up on your points, was when we got the sale, we needed to stay around for like another 2 minutes. And I never understood it. I'm like, we got the sale. And it was because they didn't cancel that way. Because otherwise, you would close the door, they'd be like, whoa, I don't know what I even bought. And they'd cancel it. Because usually it was a monthly subscription. And so when you did the after sale, when you still were interested, you were still like, thank you so much for buying. Like,
wow.
Yeah, people are like, man, I trust this guy. And people buy from people. People, you can say, but I'm providing like a Lambo and this lifestyle. No, she's investing in you as a person. And if you're not fun, if you're not trustworthy, she will not give you her number or not go on dates. So getting to that fast, can I get a number? You might get the number.
Yeah.
But then when she remembers you, she's like, I don't know, it wasn't really interesting or
Felt
different.
like the outcome was weird.
Yes.
You weren't just present with her.
Yes, exactly. When you get the number, like you said, you say, I really want to stay connected. You get the number or you get the Instagram, and you're just like, okay, well, have a nice day, or like you stay connected in a sense of,
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there. It just made me realize a little thing, a human tendency that I've seen over and over, where you'll talk to a girl, you'll talk and then you'll get the number too fast, maybe like 5 minutes later. Oh, anyways, hey, let me get your Instagram. Let's stay connected. And after that, both parties walk away.
Yeah.
Why? It's like the better interactions that I've had, it's like you go on it. That's why I always push my students. I'm like, go on an instant date. Like, fuck the number. Forget the number. That's cope. That's like settling for something that's probably going to lead nowhere. Like, it's weird. Like, I've had really great interactions where I get needy and I'm like, oh, I like her. I think she likes me. Let me get the Instagram now so I can maybe hang out with her later. Hey, can I get your Instagram? Get the Instagram. It's like, all right, well, it's nice to meet you. Okay, see you. And then she'll walk away. I'm like, why did that end? That ended weird now.
Yeah.
And then what I realized was basically it's kind of like, I don't know. It just feels like it's been like conditioned to everyone. Oh, he was shooting his shot with me.
Yes.
I'd rather it be more natural. Like, for example, when we met the girls in boxing, they were in the boxing at the beach boxing event. And we met them, we say hi to them, we vibe with them, we even spar with them a little bit. We're talking the whole time. And then at the end, it's natural, like after a whole 30 minutes of interacting with them, we're like, hey, we should hang out sometime.
Yes.
You down to hang out? Like,
you're also attaching an activity to it.
yeah. And by the way, I forgot, we got to hit up those girls and we got to hang out with them. I'll hit them up today.
Yeah, that's something I always do. When I ask for an Instagram, I'm like, well, can I get your Instagram? Maybe we can go for a walk sometime. And they already have something to look forward to instead of, why do we want Instagram? Do you want me to come over? Like,
You set the intention. You
Yes.
make it clear why.
And also you already planned something, which takes a little bit of initiative.
Yeah.
But to come back to your point about the instant date, it's not like getting their number and texting them 1 day later to go on a date 2 days later. It's not like you're gonna know them way better. So you might as well go on a date right there.
Yeah.
It's not like it's gonna be way more comfortable the first date around. Just go on there, and then try to when you do get the number and you're like, I don't have time to go on a date right now. Always send a voice note. I never send a text message. It like, I don't know how I can explain it. My chances of getting the date or just hanging out with a person increase by 1,000% because people will be like, yes, that was the fun guy. That was the curious guy. I can feel the energy through the phone. When you send a text, it's just, there's less there. So
Yeah, facts. A dropping game right now. A dropping game. I like that. That's true about the voice note, actually. Forgot about that. And I've done that now. I actually have that in my text game. I hate, another thing, I'm just going to completely diverge topics.
Yes.
I think the reason why I even wanted this chat was because I'm sick of pickup a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just a little. Where I'm like sick of like this mind-numbing process to get better at getting girls.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I just want to be a human being, have fun, and be fulfilled. And like even when I hate, like for me, it's more about a lifestyle, a mindset, and it really it's starting to turn me off whenever I talk about techniques and tactics and all this. And there's no manipulation. There's no guys asking me, "What's your line?" I'm like, "There's no line. There's no tactic. There's no technique. It's just about becoming who you already are." I had a guy say this to me. We were in a deep conversation. One of my best friends. He's like, "I feel like the game, like you said, everyone has game." I completely agree with that. Learning game isn't about learning how to get the girl. It's about learning how to become who you actually are and comfortable with yourself, and learning to become entitled to the girl and flirt with the girl, and learning that every girl is not going to like you, and that's okay.
Yes.
And you can still be friends with them, and there can still be a win-win situation with almost every girl, and if not, that's okay too.
Yeah.
And then learning how to become a better person with people in general, read social cues. And
So true, yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
yeah, no,
That's so true. I mean, because guys, I'm giving you this advice of be more curious and be more energetic, but some of you are just like cool as a fridge, you know? And that's your thing. So that's lean more into that. Don't try to be something you're not, because you'll never, it doesn't matter if there's like an objective truth, you'll never come across better than you are when you are yourself.
Yeah.
And the thing is, yeah, but you know, you said that curiosity works. But curiosity works for the girls that I'm trying to attract. Maybe, especially the Russian girls here are like, they really like the cool and mysterious, manly men.
Really?
I think that's what the vibe that I'm getting. If you're like happy little kiddo, they're like Slavic woman.
that's true, actually. No, good point.
No, they're like into their business.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's who you're attracted. They're really into those manly men. I'm just not that. And I'm not gonna, be mad if a girl rejects me that way. That's the thing, is in psychology we call this the, external locus of control. It's called the locus of control, meaning when something happens in the real world, you have always a choice to either direct it to yourself or direct it to the outside world. And so most of you direct it to yourself. When a girl rejects you, it's like, I did something wrong, which isn't necessarily bad, because you can always improve on something. You have control on your own behavior, but you also lower your self-esteem that way. So sometimes you have to choose to be like, I didn't attract her, and maybe she's into something I'm totally not me.
Wow.
Maybe, yeah, and that
Yeah, no, finish that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
you still want to take accountability. You don't want to be like, yeah, but she's bi. She's just gay. She's just
Yeah.
not into real men. I'm a real man. No, you still want to look at yourself and reflect and be like, maybe I came off across too hard, and maybe. But then even if you would have done everything perfect, maybe she's just into another type of man, and that's okay. It has way more to do with her.
Yeah.
Maybe she has some childhood wounds, and I don't know, she doesn't want to. She's scared of conversations with men. Redirecting those things to yourself, it'll only hurt you. But on the other hand, if you do have success with a girl, then sure, you can look at yourself and you can see, what did I do good, but that's nothing. That's something we never do. We only reflect and journal when things are bad. We never reflect and journal when things are going great. You can still see, like, why am I so attractive to people nowadays? People smile at me everywhere I go. Where have I changed? And keep adding on to those things. Yeah.
Interesting. So what you said there, you're basically saying there comes a certain point where there is nothing you can do, and just accept it. And just like, hey, this is who I am. Play to your strengths, attract the kind of girl that you're going to attract, and own it. But then also, this is a nuance point where it's like, at the same time, see what you're doing. Maybe you are doing something wrong. See what you can improve.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think that's where feedback comes from. That's where, friends come in. That's where even female friends come in, and you tell them, like, would you respond to this text? And she'd be like, no, that's crazy. I would never do that. And, that's where the feedback, and you get feedback, you reflect, you improve. You get feedback, you reflect, you improve. But at a certain point, you're like, it's okay. There's no more information you need to keep gulping up before you get the courage to go out there. And I don't know, then it comes down to a numbers game. If you talk to 100 women and you know who you are, like you're confident in who you are, you're confident that you're a straight male, you don't have that, I need to prove that I'm not gay, that just proves that you're not confident. You're confident that you're goofy, and that's okay. No, goofy men, Andrew Tate doesn't like goofy men. No, you're goofy, and that's okay, and that's fun, and people like that, and that's you, and embrace that part of you. Then it's a numbers game. Then it's just about, where are those people that are attracted to me? Now I know who I am. When I walk out, I speak to people. I'm like, oh yeah, you were never going to be attracted to me. So where are those people? You're just looking for them. It's not like that went wrong. I need to improve that part because that needs to never happen again. No.
Yeah, man. I like that. Powerful, great podcast. Yeah, there's so many great thoughts in this one.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think of anything else. We've shot for an hour.
Nice.
It's been epic.
Nice. There's so many things still.
Yeah, so many things. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I think I don't know how old your core audience is.
It's a big range, actually. It's like, we'll get the young kids, but I'll also get the 20s, 30s,
Yeah.
sometimes even 40s, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's okay to change. I think that's something I've struggled with. I was always trying to find my self-identity. Because when you have a self-identity, I'm the boxer, like I'm the entrepreneur. And you start creating that self-image of yourself. And that's where you project to the world. Everybody, when they ask what's your hobby, I'm like, I'm a boxer. It's okay to change and to keep improving. It doesn't mean that if something didn't work, you need to change it. And it doesn't mean if something works, you can't change it. It's all about being yourself. And when you're yourself, you're just happy. And people gravitate towards happy people. So actually, the bottom line from a psychologist, be happy. And if you're happy, if you're fulfilled, if you're around people, family, friends, and just fulfilled, you'll radiate that energy all day long. And that's what people want to hang out with.
Yeah.
If you're like, no, I'm just going to fake it till I make it. I'm just going to act happy and post these cool stories and that'll get them. People can see through that. And you can't fake it for 3 hours on a date. People will feel like, he's faking it. Especially girls. Like I said yesterday, she felt that I was impatient, which is crazy. I didn't even feel like I was that impatient. But she was like, you were kind of impatient at the beginning. I'm like, damn, you picked up on that. That's crazy. So be you, be happy, and keep working on yourself. I think a game where you're teaching your courses, which is so powerful, it doesn't need to be a means to an end to just get the girl and just, I'm done. Just keep improving yourself, keep connecting with people, learning new things, learning new ideas, learning new insights, having the humility to also look back and be like, that's something I don't agree with anymore. I'm going to change that. Like you're like, I want to be more connected to people. And then you'll always succeed. People will love you for that.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. I love it. There's a great balance to learning how to become better and change who you are. Yeah. And then sometimes realizing that, like, hey, there's nothing to change. Just keep going. And yeah, man, you are one of the coolest dudes I've met this year. And I mean that, bro. And I'm excited for more adventures. Yes. And that was an amazing podcast, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
So much.
Wait a minute. Let's do that. Let's do that. I forgot.